I want to begin a new life, Elena. I wanted to be with you.
This kind of attitude upsets me a lot, Ruby. What are you trying to prove coming here and pretending to feel ill?
If you think that it doesn't hurt me to see the father of my baby making out with another woman, then that's your problem.
I have never hidden my true feelings from you. I told you I love Maribel.
Please, just spare me your reasons. And stop hurting me, all right? Because what I saw was more than I can handle.
I'm very sorry. But starting from today, this arrangement will be our reality. And you and I are going to have to live with it.
Well, then I don't agree with you. And I cannot stand to see you with Maribel. Or to accept that someday in the future, my own child is going to be forced to live with...
For a start, you should know
Don't
Maribel...
talk to me anymore about Maribel. Don't you understand it hurts me? Alejandro, I left it all. Because I thought that you would finally be with me. After so many years. Waiting all this time.
You listen well. I've told you that the past isn't going to return. So forget it.
But how? How to forget all? When I learned I was having a baby with you, you know what I saw in him? The opportunity to change. But I can't begin a new life in a manner that is without dignity, by accepting money without receiving love, and the protection that my baby and I will need from you. That's why I'm leaving your house.
You're not going to leave my house. You've got to take care of that baby.
Don't worry about it. I'm always going to love my baby. He is all that I have left of you right now. And that's why... To start off right this time, I'm going to go back to the place where I used to live.
What are you saying now?
I'm going to the tenement, to the house that belonged to my mother. I'm going to learn to survive so that I can manage alone with my child.
Elena, you know very well that I still feel so much for Ruby. But I'd like to give us a chance. If you'll allow me to accompany you, I know that anything is possible.
I would also love it if you could join me on my trip. To be away together, just the two of us. That you forget all the awful things that you've been going through. I promise you that you won't ever regret coming with me. I do promise you.
Hello. Last night, we didn't finish talking.
I appreciated that you worry about me, Ernesto. But there isn't much to talk about. I broke up with Alejandro, but that doesn't mean to say something could happen between the two of us. Because I'm still in love with Alejandro.
I'm in love with you, Maribel. For so many years now, I have felt nothing but anger and resentment too. But then thanks to you, I'm able to feel good about life once again.
I'm glad for you, Ernesto. But then, for years I've been in love with Alejandro, and if I've tried other relationships, it was only because I had never had the hope that someday he'd love me as well.
If he really loved you, he'd never get someone else pregnant.
Alejandro never tried to deceive me. He didn't go out at the same time with Rubi and me too.
I would not like it if one of these days you're confronted with a very different side of Alejandro.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing in particular. It's just that I wouldn't like it if you suffer another disappointment. This is why I want you to know that if the love you feel for Alejandro one day fades away, I'll just be here waiting for you.
Ruby, I don't believe you anymore. You have talked so many times of changing your ways. Even if I'd like to believe it for the sake of our child. To be honest, I don't think it will happen.
It's precisely that. This baby of ours is the reason I will change my ways. Goodbye now, Alejandro.
Ruby, you cannot just leave like this. Think of Hector.
I don't think that whatever happens to me from today on should be affecting you. And besides, I'm going to save you from more problems with Maribel.
I don't want you to be living alone.
And what will you do? Are you going to lock me up just like Hector?
I'm not only worried about you, but also my child.
Well, if you like, you can leave me at my sister's house. I will be waiting for you there. Because I'm still hoping that you will one day change your mind.
Well, it's a fact that Genaro made a serious mistake when he hid the truth from me. Still, he was trying to be a good father.
Pardon me, but if he knew about this, he should have told you from the time you knew Maribel was engaged to Hector.
You're right there. But what Genaro did cannot be corrected now. But the most affected by this is Hector. And that's why I want to be close to him.
Look here, I understand that you want to help your son, but Elisa, I wouldn't like it if in case Genaro
Oh,
tries...
my love. I love you only. Bear in mind that I'm your wife now.
I'll accept the light meal from you because I've got a bit of an upset stomach. So today I think I'm only going to finish 10 quesadillas with everything. Not much chili, it upsets my stomach.
Anything you need, because that's what we're here for.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You know very well that Onésimo has been behaving in that way for no reason other than his exhaustion.
I've told you already
What?
that I won't be taking this. And if this is only about playing dirty, and you even lied to me and bragged that he proposed marriage to you, I too have my own weapons, and I'm going to use them. Just watch me, I'll use them all.
Oh, really? In war as well as in love, everything is fair play.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Well, then anything goes.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This way, ma'am, if you please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you happy with the furniture?
Oh, yes, my love. You have no idea how much I long to select my very own things. That's why when you asked me to marry you, I couldn't even sleep just thinking about how beautiful our new home would look.
How would you like to pay for your purchase?
We would like to pay using this credit card, miss.
Please wait here while I process your payment.
Thank you.
We have to make a decision on where to buy the other household items.
Yes, we have to decide on where we should buy some light fixtures like lamps and,
Curtains.
Yes. Maribel went to work so unhappy and I pity her.
We have to help her get over this crisis. My daughter hasn't had much luck when it comes to love. Or perhaps the men that she has chosen...
It will not be easy for her to forget Alejandro.
When Lucio came to see her, he spoke to me too. And he admitted to me quite openly that he is attracted to Maribel, that he would like to propose marriage to her one day.
What?
That's what he said.
For me, that person, I don't know, but he makes me feel uneasy.
I have known Lucio for quite some time now, and I'm well aware he's a very tough businessman to deal with. I have to admit, though, that I admire the fact that he came out in the open concerning his intentions towards Maribel. But of course, I don't believe that he would turn out to be the ideal mate for my daughter. But then Maribel is an intelligent woman. She should be deciding her future and not us.
But of course.
I'm going to bring you to Christina's.
All right.
To love you is only an illusion, Alejandro. Rubi and you will always surely end up back together.
Marco, as a doctor, there's something I would like to ask you, and this is about Hector. It turned out that his father was sick with some, well, I really don't know how to explain
Elena,
it, but then,
I know what you're referring to. I heard that Hector's father suffered from a mental disorder.
I'm discussing with you about this because, well, you see, it does worry me a lot, Marco. Do you think Hector could inherit the mental illness of his father?
There's a possibility that disorders of this kind can be passed on from their parents to their children. But that isn't always the case. Besides, we're not even sure about what illness his father had, or if he was even sick at all. We have to ask first.
And what can I do so that I can help Hector? How am I supposed to tell if he's sick or not?
Well, only a specialist can really tell. Perhaps you should also consult that Dr. Rivera, the other Dr. Rivera.
Yes, I also had suggested that to him. I hope he decides to go after we come back from the trip.
Hector's going with you?
I said I was going to see my mother, and he had volunteered to come along with me.
Do you think it's a good idea for you to travel with him again?
I know that I'm taking a risk, but then I think that for Hector and for what I feel, this is worthwhile.
You could get hurt this time.
Do you know? I'm not frightened of that. Not of suffering, no. That's just part of living, and I'm sturdy. In any case, I would much prefer to regret something that I had done than to have never tried it at all.
You seem a lot better. You're more relaxed now.
Yes, I am. I think now that I've found out how my parents really died, Godmother, I finally see things from a very different perspective. I don't want my life to end like that.
No, of course not. But it's in your hands right now. It all depends on you.
I think that's why I made the decision to go with Elena on her trip.
Well then, I think it's a good idea. I think, well, just to get out from this place is going to help you. It's obvious Elena does love you. But then, are you sure?
Yes. But I'm worried about Elena. I'm still emotionally hung up and I've got nothing to offer her. And I'm not yet even divorced.
Well, you still have to sign a piece of paper. Then your marriage to Rubi doesn't...
I know. I think it was a wrong move telling Elena that I'll be going with her. I don't want to get her hopes up and I'm not even sure if I'll forget Rubi.
Well, about that, you know very well that it isn't going to happen overnight. What matters is that you're willing to change and try again. And also, you don't know how happy that makes me.
Ruby.
Sis, I badly need your help. Alejandro doesn't want to be responsible for both of us. My baby and I are all alone, and I have nowhere else to go. You're my only family.
Ruby, you know very well that if you really want...
I cannot accept for my baby a father who is never there. That only takes care of his keep but then does not live with him. And right here is where I'm going to feel most at peace. And I promise you that I'm going to clear things up with Cayetano. But please, I beg you, sis. Let me stay here with you.
I couldn't ever abandon you, especially now in your condition.
And Christina, in any case, I will foot the bill for all the expenses of Ruby.
That will not be needed. You heard that my family is going to help me. Thanks a lot, sis. I know that right now my baby and I could not ask for a better place than this for us. I know that here, we're going to be given a lot of love. Can I see Fernanda?
Yes, of course, she's in her room now.
Alejandro, in the event you change your mind, you now know where you can find me.
Can we please have a talk?
How is Maribel? I suppose by now she knows that Rubi's child is Alejandro's.
Yes. She's very unhappy. Of course, she had to end it with Alejandro. Hector, Rubi and you don't have a future anymore. Finally, she's going to get just what she wants.
I know that. But it still hurts. It makes me angry that Rubi's going to be with Alejandro.
I myself am angry. But I'm glad that those two are now out of your life.
Godmother, I honestly hope I'll be able to have self-control. Because here in my head, Rubi is mine.
I heard that when you went to Ixtapa, you already discussed marriage with Rubi. I really believe you should remain true to your word.
The circumstances then were different. I'm willing to be responsible for this baby, although I won't get married. To get married because of an obligation, not because of love, would be a mistake, and you know that, Christina.
Well, I don't see it that way. I think my mother would be of the same opinion. Alejandro, you once talked with my mother and you had sworn to her that your intentions towards Rubi were nothing but honorable.
You're talking of a time that belongs to the past now, Christina. When the circumstances were very different. We were all very different people then.
There are some things that just don't change. Things like values and the importance of raising up a family.
Christina, I'm so sorry. This is my firm position. And this is what I believe. And it's what I'm going to do.
Give it some thought. You still have a lot of time before you see the baby.
I promise you that I will always be here to take care of the child and Rubi.
I don't know if I will be able to take this, Marco. I know the certainty that Alejandro loves me, but then it hurts to see them leave together.
You know what? If Christina had only loved me, I'd be very happy to bring up Fernanda like my daughter even if she wasn't.
That's a different case, Marco. If Rubi didn't want to keep the baby and left it with Alejandro, I'd love it like my own. But then, that's not the case because Rubi is the child's mother.
Maribel, I honestly think that you should continue seeing Alejandro. But I won't ever insist because the fact is what you decide is what really matters.
Thanks a lot, Marco. Please sit down.
Thank you.
I asked you to come here to talk about something else. I'm worried
What's up?
that if it was Bermudez who attempted to murder Alejandro, he could well try it again.
Well, he's the prime suspect for now. But we still don't know if it was him. In any case, look here.
Hello?
Hello.
What are you looking at?
A picture of the man that might have been responsible for poisoning Alejandro.
They're going to hand out copies to the hospital staff. And most of all to the security team so that they will always be familiar with his face. That man is very dangerous.
Hey, listen, Lolo, my dear heart.
Wow.
How about we accompany these little ladies so we can both protect them from any kind of danger they might encounter, right? And then while we're protecting them, you and I could enjoy some ice cream, right?
You don't need to come
Yes,
with
let's
us.
go with them.
Honestly, I arranged to meet up with Loreto there.
Well, being the true gentleman that I am, I'm not going to feel at ease
Me
now.
too.
And if I don't ascertain that Fernanda and you and your baby in that beach ball reach the park safely, all right? Yes?
All right.
All right now, let's go.
Yes.
Goodbye, Chris.
Let's go.
Bye now, you all take care. Goodbye, my
Okay.
sweetheart.
What's wrong, Father?
It's just that, with everything that's happened, I haven't yet taken in the fact that I'll be a grandfather.
And I'll be an aunt. But because it's under the circumstances. I'm sorry, but I wish that the baby's mother was some other woman and not Ruby.
Sophia, you're going to have to change your attitude towards her, because whether or not your brother decides to marry Ruby, in a certain way, she has already become a part of our family now.
Well, yes. Although I support Alejandro in his decision that he does not necessarily have to get married to give the child the best of himself.
I don't agree with you. And I'll tell you firmly that Ruby and my grandson will always receive my full support now.
Aunt, come with me and let's play over at the swings.
You play on your own for a moment while I talk with Loreto. Go.
Well, how did things get along yesterday with the great cat?
Okay. He's going to help me recover everything that Hector took from me.
There's not a doubt that you are still so irresistible, my darling. Although Alejandro still seems to prefer Maribel.
Don't start with that same thing again, please, won't you?
Well then, I don't want to insist, but I think you have a good idea. That one of trying to touch a soft spot with Maribel.
Well, I have not managed doing it up to now. At the hospital, I witnessed that stupid idiot passionately kiss Alejandro.
And him? Well, I suppose he also kissed her back as passionately. I thought Maribel wasn't capable of arousing passion.
Loreto?
Yes. Oh.
It hurt me so much to see them together.
Aunt, are you coming here to play ball with me now?
Wait just a moment, my love, I'm coming.
Well, darling, now that you are convinced that the little cripple is a serious obstacle to your plans, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know, but I've just had it. I really cannot stand being pregnant.
Ruby?
If I could, I would have gotten rid of this baby. But as long as it's my only weapon to keep Alejandro, I'm going to have to endure this.
Well, and why did you not accept some ice cream from me if you know that it's very delicious?
Because I cannot go about just eating all the time if I want to maintain my sexy figure.
What? Are you telling me I'm overweight?
Well, overweight or whatever you want to call it, huh? But I want to take care of you. What would happen if you start to become fat just like Mariquita?
No, heaven help us. Heaven help us. Well then, if my also perfect appearance happens to change a little, will you stop loving me because of that?
Well, then, to tell you honestly, I won't. If I decide to pay attention to you, even if you become overweight and lose your hair, well, I would still love you just as much as before.
That part of being bald isn't likely because I've never seen a bald ass. And that is an excellent kind of love, my Dolores.
Ruby, I don't like it when you're so cold-hearted when you speak about your baby.
Would you rather I lie? And to you as well? That I pretend? Loreto, I have never wanted this for me. In my opinion, being a mother and having a baby isn't so wonderful, nor do I dream about it. Watch out! Oh! Oh, Ruby! Oh! Oh!
Are you hurt really bad?
Idiot! You
idiot! Leave him alone and take it easy.
I can take you to the hospital. I can drive you to the hospital. You cannot go see a doctor, right?
I'm fine.
Look, I really think that
It
Loreto is
wasn't
right.
just any bumps, Ruby. Please listen.
Oh, Ruby, let's just have a doctor to
You
examine
better
you.
take
Come
care
on,
of
all
that,
right?
Just go with Loreto and you two take care of Fernanda.
Okay, you better be careful.
Oh, hold her well. She mustn't strain herself. I was so scared. Yes, my love. Yes, my beautiful sweetheart. Listen to me, well, Never ever run across the street when you're by yourself again, huh?
Yes. Come on, do you hear us? Because you gave us such a fright,
Yes, my
little
love.
girl.
Let's go.
I don't know what to do. I feel very happy that they gave me the scholarship grant. But my situation with my family is not that easy. And what's important here, I don't want to give you up, dear.
You've got to make the most out of them because these opportunities come only once in a lifetime.
Yes, but I have fallen in love only once in my entire life, and it was with you. I love you, and I don't want us to be separated after everything that we both have been through.
Good for you. Mr. Ignacio, you have a brilliant daughter who's going to Switzerland on a scholarship grant. Have you decided what's going to happen to your relationship?
No, Father. Louise gives me support to take advantage of the opportunity, but...
I wouldn't dream of asking her to stay, sir. Because she's fought so hard for this scholarship. Well, whatever decision you come up with, you know you're not children anymore. You have got to make it maturely, considering all the possibilities.
I couldn't refuse to take her in. Alejandro didn't respond the way she expected. Now she says she really wants to start a new life.
And you honestly think that that's possible? We do know your sister very well.
She told me that she wanted to offer you an apology for the fight you had when you helped Hector to take, all her shares.
That isn't necessary. Don't you worry, my love. And although I don't agree with everything your sister has done, we're not going to leave her unprotected, right?
No, man, it just gets worse all the time.
Of course it does.
With these minibuses and the
That was
taxis and
totally
the others,
scary.
no,
I was
man.
very, very frightened. You have no idea what happened to Ruby. She was hit by a car for trying to save Fernanda.
My love, are you all right?
Yes, Father Cayetano.
Oh.
Ruby, how's she? Where's she now?
I think she's doing okay.
Yes, her skinny friend, the rich-looking guy who goes around swaying his hips and saying, "Oh, my darling," he accompanied her to see a doctor.
And where is that?
No, well, he didn't tell me. I don't know.
Are you sure that she was really all right? Because we know that these knocks can be very dangerous in her condition because she's pregnant.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, she got up by herself, so she can't be all that bad. But she was really just a tiny inch away from getting knocked down from saving Fernanda.
Oh, were you frightened, my love? Are you all right? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, but why the gown?
Slowly.
Because they got to examine you, madam.
But it only hurts a little right now.
I will now call the doctor.
Tell him to hurry because she's pregnant.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
My hip does hurt me a bit, huh?
Well, of course it hurts. Lie back. Come on. Slowly, slowly. That's it. That's it.
I can't be without you, Louise. I prefer to give up the scholarship grant.
I don't want to be separated from you either. But it's unfair for you to just throw away all your dreams and your career.
Louise.
Listen, what do you say if I look for a way to go with you to Switzerland?
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. We've got to do even the impossible to stay together because our love is so strong.
I love you.
You know what, Doctor? My abdomen is hurting a little. Give me something for the pain.
I've got to examine you first. But don't worry, ma'am. We're going to do everything possible for you to be all right. How far into your pregnancy are you?
2 months? Doctor,
Nurse,
I'm bleeding. Look
have
here,
them prepare
Doctor.
ambulance.
Doctor,
Go
I'm
on,
bleeding. Tell me what this is.
Do it.
I beg you, why am I bleeding, Doctor? Tell me,
Everything's going
please,
to be
what's
all right.
happening? Tell me why. I'm bleeding.
Mr. Arturo, I'm here because I want to explain to you personally what's really been going on.
Alejandro, frankly, I'm very upset with you. You lied to me. You disappointed me. Maribel's suffering an awful lot.
Please forgive me. If I had only been certain that Ruby's baby was my own, believe me, I would never have started a relationship with Maribel.
Well, yes, Alejandro, but you did make sure of it. And now my daughter is suffering once again. Alejandro, don't ever come back to this house. And don't ever come near Maribel.
Mr. Arturo,
Please, Alejandro, don't make her suffer much. I'm not going to allow it.
You can't enter that hospital again, Father. They know that you got out of prison, and they suspect that it could have been you who poisoned Alejandro. I kept telling you you're taking too much of a risk.
Don't start with the same old story now. I was careful not to leave any evidence that would compromise us.
That's for now. But if they begin to investigate and find me, then the show will stop soon. Besides, Alejandro suggested to Roldan to have some flyers made with your photograph so that, if anyone sees you, we'll call the police.
Alejandro. Always that damned Alejandro.
Mr. Arturo, I'm not going to give up here. I will fight for Maribel.
While you're expecting a baby with Rubi.
I'm not going to abandon my child. but-
Rubi has already destroyed my daughter's life twice already. First was when she married Hector, and now...
I love Maribel, Mr. Arturo. I'm not going to leave her
You're
now.
going to leave her. I'm not going to allow you to do her more harm. Neither you, nor Rubi, nor anyone else. What do you want? To condemn her to seeing all the time the child you had with that woman? And that would never let you be truly happy?
But it's not like that. I don't love Ruby anymore. Regardless whether or not Maribel comes back to me in the future, I would never marry Ruby.
That's something you had to have thought about long ago before getting her pregnant, don't you think? Alejandro, I will tell you this based from experience. These poor children are totally not to blame for whatever the parents do. Look at Luis. You just have no idea how sorry I am for not being close to him. Think it over, Alejandro.
How are you feeling now?
Loretto, what happened?
I'm sorry, but you lost your baby.
Alejandro. How is it possible that you've done what you did? How are you capable of sleeping with the wife of my son and you even got her pregnant?
Mrs. Elisa,
Why did you do it, Alejandro? And for what? To get revenge on Hector and Ruby?
I'm sorry. I know that what I did wasn't right. Believe me, I'm paying the consequences.
Not only you. You destroyed the life of my son and now also Maribel's.
I'm hurt more for her than anyone else. Maribel is the only person who's innocent in what I've done.
What? Tell me it's not true that I've lost the baby.
I'm sorry. You started bleeding. They weren't able to do anything. You were anesthetized so that... Well, I didn't know for what.
This can't be happening to me now.
Don't take it that badly, darling. You really didn't want it anyway.
Yes, I did want it.
But before the accident, you just said...
Don't you understand? That baby was my final and only hope of getting back Alejandro. What will I do now?
Calm down, darling. We'll think of some other plan.
What? What? Alejandro's going to hate me. He's going to think that I got rid of the baby on purpose.
But why would you think that?
Because I told him that if he wasn't going to be with me, I wasn't going to have his child.
Oh.
No.
Hector is very upset, and he's right.
I'm sorry, Dad. But with what happened with me, you should have learned.
Oh, son. I lost your loved ones, and I recovered it. I hope the same thing happens with Hector. Is something wrong?
Yes. But I don't know how to tell you. You know that it's cost Sophia and me an awful lot to be able to be together.
Well, yes, and... No, don't tell me you had a fight.
No. The thing is that,
What?
Sophia is going to study in Switzerland. And I'm going to go with her.
What?
I told Paco that I'm going to learn to run a house.
Lorena, it isn't as difficult as you think.
I don't know. I've never done it before. And I don't like it, Maribel. But I'm prepared to give it a try for Paco. Listen, tell me what happened with Alejandro after I saw you.
What happened was that I stuck to my decision to call it off.
Maribel, please, don't be so stubborn. That is not what you want.
No, but it's the right thing to do. He should be with his child in Rubi. The child doesn't deserve a part-time father. Don't you understand that?
It's your decision, and I've got to respect it. But no, I don't agree with you.
Well, it hurts to think that because of the decision I'm making, they'll be able to build a life together. Rubi is going to give Alejandro what he's always wanted. And he'll start forgetting about me. And I'm sure, when that baby arrives, he's going to forget.
Alejandro doesn't really need to know that I've lost the baby.
And how will you manage to keep that? These things are obvious. Your belly will have to grow.
Even before it starts to show, Alejandro will have to come back to me.
And when he discovers the lie?
We'll be married by then. And I can get myself pregnant again. Immediately. I have to keep my dignity intact. So that he values me. If he was able to forgive me before, he will forgive me again.
Remember, during that time, Maribel wasn't in the way.
Maribel doesn't know what I mean to Alejandro. And just like I convinced Hector to leave her at the altar, I'm going to convince Alejandro.
It's not going to be easy for you to forget Alejandro. You've been waiting for him for 3 long years, I know.
It won't be easy, Lorena, but it's part of my decision. If I didn't take him out of my life, then it's because I hoped that someday he would see me differently, that he'd get close to me.
And you achieved it. Alejandro finally fell in love with you, Maribel. That's why, my dear, don't be stubborn, okay? Don't leave him now.
I've already decided, and I can't change that. That's why I'm going to do whatever I must just to forget him. I don't know, maybe go and travel, meet others, whatever.
May I?
Of course, come in.
How are you?
Fine.
I'll be going. Excuse me.
Of course. I came to see you because I was very worried about you. I know you're having a very hard time.
I appreciate your concern, Lucio. To be honest, yes, you're right, you know. I don't feel fine. I feel a lot of sorrow inside me.
You feel that pain right now. But time cures everything. The time is going to come when Alejandro is only going to be a memory for you. You'll see that I'm right.
I'll wait until Alejandro's reputation is ruined, so I could have Maribel.
Oh, forget all about that, Maribel. Do you really think I'd allow you to go with that person responsible for the video?
What video, Father? What are you talking about?
Nothing, my son. It's just that Maribel, I think, has connived somehow with Alejandro to make sure that I get thrown in jail. That's the reason why I don't want you near her.
Hurting Maribel isn't included in our plan, Father.
No, my son, no. But not because you asked for it, but because those were specific instructions from the Count. Because if it were me, I'd bring her down just like Alejandro.
Ruby always gets what she sets her eyes on, whatever it will take. Well, I couldn't. Though how much it hurts me right now, I prefer not to approach things her way.
You know, Maribel, I understand you. I've also felt the pain of losing someone I loved.
How did it happen?
She was taken from me by something I couldn't fight against. Death.
You mean she died?
Yes. It's a sad story that after so many years, I don't think I've been able to get over it. I thought I was never going to find someone that could make me feel the same way. Until I met you. Maribel, I know I shouldn't pressure you, but I'm only asking you to let me be close to you. Would you accept an invitation to dinner?
Some other time, if it's okay. Honestly, Lucio, it's that today I'm not in the mood to go out.
I know that you have suffered a lot, Maribel. What I'm offering you is peace, stability. I'm a man without commitments, without another woman. Just a minute. Hello?
Lucio, it's me.
How are you? Is something wrong?
I don't have anyone else I can trust. I need you to help me.
Of course, of course. What's the matter?
Today I've just lost my baby.
Alejandro insisted with me that he loved Maribel and that he planned to continue his relationship with her, that he wasn't going to marry Rubi.
And how could he, if that woman is still Hector's wife?
I couldn't care less about any decision Alejandro and Rubi make. What I'm not going to allow is that they continue to hurt Maribel.
Of course not. I feel terrible seeing her suffer. But it's best she suffers now than Ruby making her suffer for the rest of her life.
Yes?
Sir, there's someone here to see you.
Oh, come in. Come in, son.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Hello, Luis.
Hello, how are you?
Fine.
I came to talk to you.
I know that you'd like to talk to your father alone, so please excuse me.
Thank you.
Make yourself at
Thank
home.
you. I'm going on a trip, and as I don't know when I'm coming back, I wanted to say goodbye.
I am very sorry. Where are you? Yes, of course. I'm on my way.
Anything wrong?
A friend has a problem. I'm going to go to help him.
You're not only like this with me, noble and so generous.
I like to help.
I hope you can resolve the problem with your friend and things work out fine.
Yes. And remember, Maribel, you've got an invitation tonight.
It's best for you to leave, Loretto. I don't want Lucio to find you here when he arrives.
What will you do?
I'm going to ask him to take me to the house of my sister.
What?
I want him to see where I used to live and where I don't ever plan to return. Because if Alejandro doesn't respond in the way I hoped, the only one who can give me what I need in this world is Lucio.
How on earth can you be thinking of that now?
I've got to handle things very carefully because I might end up losing everything.
Ruby.
You say you're leaving? You just don't know how long for, to a place you don't know, just to follow Alejandro's sister.
Sofia is the love of my life. And I'm sorry about everything that happened between Alejandro and Maribel, but I'm not going to leave her because of that. Besides, if I came to say goodbye, it's only out of courtesy.
You don't have to explain that to me. I asked you because I'm interested to know if you really love that girl.
I love her so much that I'm willing to follow her to Switzerland. And while she goes to school, I'm going to try to make a name for myself there.
You know, you remind me of myself when I faced up to my parents for the love of your mother. Only that they didn't understand me. They withdrew all their support, and they separated me from Lilia. And I'm not going to do that to you.
What do you mean?
I know a couple of people in Switzerland that could open a door for you.
Thank you.
That's it, Louise. That's it.
Maribel.
Hector, how are you?
I just got done with my therapy. And you? How are you? I heard what happened. I'm truly sorry.
Thank you. I know very well that you're suffering too.
But I deserve it for everything I've done to you. I know I've hurt you. But you, Maribel, don't deserve this.
Come in.
I'm sorry, Ruby.
Forgive me for calling you. I couldn't think of anyone else. I don't want to tell Alejandro about it yet. I don't want to see anyone. I only thought of you.
And I'm here now. You know that you can count on me.
Can I really count on you? Because I wouldn't like...
Ruby, you and I know very well what I feel about you. You know, secrets are part of this game we play. Just like the fact that a meaningful relationship is something that we should never expect to happen between us.
You're right, Lucio. I'd never, ever fall in love with you.
You're hopelessly in love with Alejandro, and that's the best for both of us. But there are so many things that you and I could actually enjoy together.
I never imagined that you and I were going to be together under these circumstances. Ruby separated us, and right now, ironically, she brought us together again with another betrayal.
You don't know how much I admire you, Maribel. I would love to have the strength that you often show, so I could carry on and overcome things.
You know what, Hector? It's difficult, but it can be done. We really have no choice.
I'm willing to go through this. I really want to begin a new life. And it could start tomorrow with a trip.
I'm happy for you, Hector.
I'm sure you'll turn out to be alright as always. Maribel, thank you for what you've done. For forgiving all my faults. For listening to me.
It's nothing, Hector.